Well, hey there, it's Jennie Wallach with the Wallach Group, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I am always so honored when my super successful agent friends say yes to joining me on my Agent Success Secrets series. And thank you for hanging out with us today. Today, I get to talk with the amazing Rebecca Del Pozo. And Rebecca, I've known you for many years through our world called Keller Williams and also being instructors for Keller Williams University. And I've been a student, whether you know it or not, while you have been teaching classes. And so I have always enjoyed, first off, your energy and your joy in teaching and sharing with other agents. So why don't you just tell everyone who you are, where you are, and what you do?
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And I feel like you're one of those people that I've admired from afar over the years, and I'm grateful for your friendship. And what an honor that you would ask me. Here are the things I can promise. It will be real. It will be fun and it will be authentic. And so many times that's what I'll tell people. This is real life. It's not always the most polished. um, just we're going to keep it real. And so I live here in Tacoma, Washington, just south of Seattle, here in Washington State. And my husband, Mike, and I work together in real estate. And I am multi-passionate. I can't sit still for long. I love to be always learning and growing. And so outside of real estate, I have pursued real estate investing, real estate training, um, teaching and speaking opportunities. And those are the things that just light me up and get me excited.
Well, with over 22 years in the business, you've learned a lot, but you definitely didn't start out that way. So take us back in time, Rebecca, to baby agent Rebecca and how you got to where you are today.
Oh my goodness. Baby agent Rebecca felt called to real estate as like marketplace ministry. Honestly, I had friends that were getting into different careers and callings, and some were going to like Bible colleges. And I just kept thinking, like, I'm supposed to do real estate. And I knew nothing of it. No one in my family had ever done it. And so those limiting beliefs of, okay, I'm dyslexic, I have ADHD, I don't have a college degree, like I don't come from an entrepreneurial real estating family. How am I going to figure this out? And it was Keller Williams training that got me. And I tell people like 22 years later, the training hasn't stopped because you grow, your business grows, you grow, your business grows. And so for that, I'm grateful. I did keep my secrets close for the first few years, and I wish I hadn't. I wish I would have just been a bit more honest with people and said, here are some of my shortcomings. How have you learned to move through life with these things?
So tell me a little bit more about that. What were the secrets you were holding in and keeping to yourself that you wish you'd shared?
I felt like without a college degree, people wouldn't take me seriously and that I wouldn't have the opportunity to find a real career. Like it was going to be a job that I would just need to like figure out. And so, um, yeah, ADHD and actually seeing it as a gift that it helps the way I function and think about things. My dyslexia gives me this ability to think in different ways than maybe others don't know or can't. And so I've now switched it, right? I can see it as the very thing that will help me connect with other people. And so that's something I would encourage people is if you feel like that limiting belief is like I'm too young or I'm too old, what if that's the very reason that you are able to connect with people?
That's so good and so true. And you also maybe had some life events that came your way back in those earlier days. Did that have some impact on your mindset and your focus in your business?
I think so for sure. Going through a divorce and being a single mom of three and having that opportunity, I decided one day this will be the best reset of my life. I get to redefine how I'm going to earn money, how I'm going to spend money, right? And so it was during that season that I did kind of go through some real like deep soul searching. And I lost my dad, and he passed away unexpectedly. And when you lose loved ones, it does cause you to reevaluate and go, how am I spending my time? And I've just got to get on with some things, get over myself and get on with some things.
That's right. Well, sometimes life does send us things that are unexpected and definitely not wanted. And I think you've even mentioned it before. It's really how are we reacting to it and responding? Are we being proactive in our approach after that? Now, I know that most of your business has always come from your database and referrals, which is a relationship type business, which that's what most of my business is as well. And that's a different way of thinking. It's really connecting with people. How would you give advice to agents out there struggling to find their footing in their style of business and lead generation?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's to be otherly and to go find other business owners and people that are lead generating. They just so happen to paint houses, or they're lead generating and building their business. They just so happen to be estate attorneys or divorce attorneys or whatever it is. Every business owner is in the business of generating new business. And so because I love learning, because education is important to me, that was what I would go and seek out in these other business owners to see, okay, are they like-minded? Are they offering workshops, or are they willing to teach people why they do what they do? And then you start aligning with people that you have that in common with.
Well, let's go deep into this. You mentioned the estate attorneys, and I know that this is a part of your focus now. So let's share the message with younger people who maybe haven't thought of this plan yet. So, what would you share with them when it comes to
Oh, if I
estate?
could, yeah, if I could go back in time and hit reset on my real estate business, I would be so much more purposeful when it comes to estate attorneys. When people have worked hard to build wealth, um, they want to protect it, and they want to protect it even after they pass away. And so they'll go to an estate attorney to write the will or to put the trust in place to protect whatever assets they own. And so in partnering with estate attorneys, I went online and I started looking to see who the attorneys were teaching workshops or seminars on certain topics, and would go and attend those classes and then ask to sponsor the coffee and the donuts or whatever it may be. And now we bring lunch in to get to know the staff and the team behind the attorney. And that has really become a blessing to our business as far as listing heavy business coming from estate attorneys.
And it's just so smart. And we've been hearing this for a while now, is in a real estate market that's uncertain, like we've kind of gone through these past few years, we know that focusing on seller listings is the most important thing for us to focus on. And why not go where those people will be and who have money? At least equity. And so super smart with either your seniors or your boomers or downsizers. We kind of ran a little play last year where we were really just educating on that topic as well. Like when it's time for mom or dad to go through this process, let's be educating our database that we're here and available for that education. Is that kind of what you've done as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And what comes to mind when you said that was many times it's not the actual elderly that are downsizing. It's their grown adult children that have been telling them, hey, we need to get rid of your stuff. We need to like help you with these things. So if you come in and you're the hero, right? Because you're saying all the things that their children have been telling them for many months or years. And all of a sudden they perk up and listen and go, oh, okay, you can help because you have the senior move manager, or you have estate sale people that can facilitate online auctions, or because so many times the hurdle is their treasures, it's their stuff. And so what are they going to do with it, and how do they organize it all? So I think that definitely is one of the the gifts that you can bring to the people downsizing, but more importantly, the children that are wanting to help their parents.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You had shared with me before our conversation here just some tips that you had for struggling agents. If they're just not quite sure how to get this thing going, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, I would say go and learn. Go take the classes and the workshops and just commit to learning that subject. And in doing that, you'll start to meet people along the way, and you come from contribution, and you look at ways that you can help them, and then next thing you know, you've got friends, you've got clients that you're helping through the process.
That's right. I think some agents come into this business and expect to be this overnight success, and we just know that's probably not the case. Yeah, you might find somebody right out of the gate that you get lucky on the timing, but this is a long game.
It is. It is. And you get into the business and you forget like where you've come from. Like the first few closings of clients were past coworkers of mine when I worked at the airlines. Um, we've had one agent in our office, like her first year of real estate was not even local real estate. It was all out of area referral checks that came in for her business because she went and she started networking with agents in all the different areas that she'd previously lived. So I would say, like, a lot of times people get into real estate and then they go, okay, I live here in Tacoma, Washington. So, like, this is how I'm gonna, make money and sell houses. That's small thinking. Like the long game is go back. Where are all the different places you've lived or have family members? And be purposeful about connecting with other agents for referral business.
So smart, so smart. Um, you have shared with me that you love investing in real estate, but it took some time building up that confidence and mindset. So share with me a little story on that.
Oh yeah. I mean, as soon as I heard about real estate investing, I was like, well, I will do that someday. When I sell 50 homes, when I sell 100 homes, like for whatever reason, I felt like I had to um, perform or do something to a certain level to feel worthy of it. And looking back, I wish I would have just gotten over myself quicker and believed that it could be possible for me too. And um and so when I met my husband Mike, I just said, look, like we need to get serious about investing in real estate. And so everything we did was then the books we were reading, the podcasts we were listening to, the seminars that we were attending for that particular season was how to invest in real estate and being purposeful about, interviewing other investors and asking how they got their first few deals. And once you get started and you set the goal, it is like a snowball effect. It is so much fun. So I would definitely encourage people that is something, if they haven't been purposeful and goal setting around, to be purposeful about bringing in accountability in your investing goals.
Okay, two things on that. If you have a partner, you absolutely have to be in alignment with that.
Yes.
It is so, so important. My husband and I have multiple doors together. And of course, because it's my business, he's not in the business of real estate. I always get to be in charge of everything, which makes sense because I am pretty bossy. But he is along for the ride now because he is seeing the positive results that and the wealth that we're able to accrue. But also, the second thing is that it's not just fun, Rebecca, it's addictive.
It is.
Right?
It totally is.
That thirst for the next one or that, passive income coming in is just total joy.
It is because it's bringing about a certain level of freedom
Mhm.
that, yeah, anytime and I'm a spender, like, hear me out. Like, I love to spend money. And as an investor, it's just shifted my thinking. I'm always looking to go, if I spend that money, if I'm investing that money, what kind of return can I expect, right?
Uh,
And that was not natural for me at all. And so it is addictive because you're always kind of putting things through a filter of, okay, what kind of equity is that going to be building? What kind of cash flow can we expect from that?
Yeah.
Um, and it's definitely something that, and here's the reality is in our market, we invested to a certain point, and then we're like, this doesn't follow any of the rules anymore. We've got to look elsewhere. So we moved out of Washington and looked into Montana and looked into Indiana and Kentucky and
Yeah.
started looking elsewhere just because we wanted the numbers to make sense.
And I think that's really important to add. And first off, everybody, so you know, there is a book on this. It's called The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. And what I have taken from that book is yes, first invest where you know, down the street from you. You could drive by if you wanted to. And then I love the reminder, Rebecca, is you have to still be smart about the numbers. And if it's just you're priced out of it making sense, then you might have to get creative in some other way.
Definitely. And what you focus on truly does expand. And so that was one of the things we renamed and nicknamed one of our savings accounts Next Investment. And so then money's coming in, and then we'd like, okay, we got to move as much as we can over to this account. And when it hits a certain amount, then we can go shopping again. And so it really does become like an obsession or I would say healthy addiction.
Yeah, that's right. Now, Rebecca, I can't believe we've gone this far because everything I've heard that you've said so far is that you really learned to stop winging it. And didn't get to mention yet your new book, which I'm so proud of you. First off, congratulations on putting together a real physical manual for others to read from all of your lessons that you've learned with awesome productivity tips as well. Tell us a little bit about your book and how this all came to be.
Absolutely. Well, just because you can wing it doesn't mean you should. And, when I was younger, me, I would almost brag, like, oh, I thrive in stressful situations. Or I remember in job interviews, that was something I would like talk about. Well, sure, you can do that. And it's not sustainable long term. And so I just learned there were little tips and tricks and what I call Rebecca rules of how to stop winging it in some areas and aspects of your life so that you can choose to respond instead of just react to everything. And um and so I learned those lessons, especially like, with ADHD and dyslexia, like I would just feel scattered at times. And I was like, I want to feel like I'm showing up as my best self, and I don't want to feel that way all the time. And so I just started sharing stories and lessons learned, in life and business about how to not slip into workaholism, to not, be so heavy on the productivity side that you're not feeling like you're prioritizing and nurturing the right relationships. And there's definitely moments when I look back and I know my family was getting my leftovers, and those are not proud moments. And so I'm not gonna you know beat myself up over it. I'm just going to decide that today, moving forward, my Rebecca rule is like, okay, how do I prioritize and show up for my family first? And then it move into my business goals. So,
Well, it's just such a testament to your own focus in that you decided to write a book and then you did. And so, are there any lessons through that? And, some people that could be watching this, maybe they have a thought or idea but maybe some limiting beliefs along with that. What would you say?
absolutely. Well, because of some of the limiting factors in my life, I thought I would never write a book. And so partnering with someone with really strong editing skills is important. Identifying what your strengths are and being aware of your weaknesses, and then bringing either people or tools or systems in to make up for those weaknesses is key. So I would definitely encourage anyone, if you've ever thought about writing a course or writing a book or, getting your thoughts out, you should. And you should for yourself so that you can just look at yourself and go, hey, I set that goal and I did it. I'm proud of myself. And I'm doing it for my kids. I'm doing it for my grandkids and for the future generations that will go, okay, well, she had some different limiting beliefs and factors that she was able to overcome and do this regardless. So if she could do it, maybe I could. So my hope in it is that it inspires people, gives them hope, and gives them encouragement along the way.
I love that. And I heard a little bit of, I think it's called the six personal perspectives in your response there, which I know that we live and die by, to be honest. But, that reminds me, you are a Keller Williams University instructor and you love teaching and sharing with agents. So, those that are watching, Rebecca, are you traveling? Are you teaching? How is that going for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I went on the path of Keller Williams University trainer and then master faculty, which there's,
Yeah.
a group of us that are absolutely love to travel and teach. So I love to teach business planning clinic in the fall, quantum leap any time of the year. And six personal perspectives are one of my favorite classes. So I love keeping it real and just explaining my real life real estate stories to others and making friends along the way. So,
I love learning from you, and I know everyone else will as well. How can everybody best find you if they want to connect?
absolutely. I hang out most on Facebook, Rebecca Del Pozo, and I'm here in Tacoma, Washington. You can look me up at RebeccaDelPozo.com.
Perfect. I loved our conversation, and I look forward to seeing you the next time.
Thanks so much, Jennie.